welcome to Movie Couple Live. And I just realized that the script that I originally had typed out, I closed it, so we don't have it. But you guys, welcome. Happy Saturday. I got it right. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Movie Couple Live. This is the show where we talk about the latest in movie and pop culture news. Today we will be talking about, let's see, first look at Mortal Kombat, Disneyland, Annual Passholders being canceled, and Ethan Hawke being added to the cast of Moon Knight, and so much more. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you are having a great weekend so far. What are you doing to spend your Saturday? We actually woke up early. And we took Navi on her little spa day. So Navi's having a little spa day, if you will, aka she's getting groomed. It's just a cuter way of putting it.
And she also is having to get her teeth cleaned. So unfortunately, Navi will not be making an appearance today.
Not today. Watch, like, the viewership drops immediately. They're like, no, Navi, I'm
no, Navi,
out.
we're not. It goes from like 18 to like 0. No one, everyone's here just for Navi.
I mean, I'm here for Navi as well. So, why not? You guys, aside from having a fun time chatting with all of you today about the latest in pop culture and movie news, we also want to let you know that we have watched the first 2 episodes, hopefully you did too, of WandaVision. Are we going to get copyright strike for?
I don't think that was anywhere close to the right tune.
Okay,
but they did. But...
Okay, well, that's true. It was very quick. Well, hopefully, please, YouTube don't copyright strike us for like making up a random theme song. But we did watch it, and we will be talking a little bit about it. And when that part comes, there will be a little bit of spoilers. So, but we will warn you, we're not gonna just dive into it right now. So, you guys, if you have watched WandaVision, we ask you in the chat to not put any spoilers in there. Don't be that person. Let's give everybody like the weekend to finish, and then on Wednesday we can like chat about spoilers well, that kind of defeats the purpose because we're going to talk about spoilers later on.
We'll talk. Well,
maybe I guess just don't put it right now.
We'll state it. Well, hopefully, I think we have a graphic or something that says spoilers. So we will be careful about what we watch until that moment.
Yes.
However, until then, I think it's time
we'll
for
put
us...
a timeout on the spoiler. We also want to say hello to Late to the Party, who is joining in the chat. Hello, Late to the Party.
They're not late to this party.
They've been early. They were early with their WandaVision trailer, not trailer reaction, but episode reaction. Ours is up as well if you would like to check that out on our channel. There were some frantic text messages. Some, I think I did.
Because if you follow Wendy on Instagram, you'll find out that the first episode went up without a hitch.
Yeah.
Second episode took 12 hours.
It took
more so, huh? More than 12 hours.
It took longer than the Mandalorian one that gave me trouble with, and it took me. I edited our reaction 20 times, and it worked on the 19th edit. So I luckily did not have to use the 20th edit, but it is what it is. And Late to the Party says, woke up early after the last couple of days. We're just dead in the water. I mean, I feel you. On top of that, we did our workouts yesterday. So I feel like a Jello. I feel like a Jello cup.
I feel all noodly.
I also want a Jello cup as well. Put your favorite Jello flavor in the comments or in the chat. Let us know your favorite Jello. Probably, I was gonna say strawberry or cherry, but then I'm gonna go with red.
I immediately started to think of Brian Regan, where he goes, "Oh, grape snow cone, cherry snow cone. That's all I want.
That's my
favorite. It's my favorite, but it's the other one that's more favorite."
Yeah. Oh gosh. Debbie says, you look like you wanted to throw something. I mean, I just if I didn't love my laptop as much as I do, I probably would have, or if I didn't need it, I probably would have, like, out of anger, chucked some sort of, it just feels good to like chuck something. But then also as an adult, you're kind of like, well, I bought that with my money, so I'm not destroying it. So I have to spend more money to repurchase. So there was no throwing of any kind. Somebody need to get me one of those Damn It dolls. You know those Damn It dolls?
Gosh, I almost gotten you that a couple of times. I was like,
that should be.
Honestly, she should just have like a stockpile of Damn It dolls that are different themed, like have one that looks like a computer. So anytime that you're mad at the computer, you can smack it. Anytime you're mad at YouTube, have a YouTube themed Damn It doll, just so you can keep on smacking it. I think that would work. I need to get you that for our anniversary.
Coming
Anger
up.
management.
Yeah, you guys are 7th wedding anniversaries. Wait, is it 7th? And then for the wedding, and then 8th for just overall, right?
No,
No,
we're coming up.
I'm
yeah.
wrong.
No, we're coming up to the 7th wedding anniversary
But
because we were married in 2014, and
but
then it was 5 years for that, so 7.
12
Yeah,
years.
we're coming up for 12 years.
Ew.
She's like, oh my gosh, we're old.
I feel so old in this relationship.
And honestly, I think we
Like
should
I don't feel old, but
exactly what Jack said is that you and I should do like a Wanda and Vision cosplay.
I already kind of did. I literally have one piece of Wanda apparel.
Well, you know what I'll do? I'll
That's
probably
it.
dress up as Vision as like the human version.
You don't
when he
want to
was-
paint yourself all the colors, and we want to
Whatever I take, unless I could find like a good mask, a good easy mask to put on.
Yeah, that's true. Oh
So-
man. Well, we want to thank all of you for being here. Late to the Party says for Jello flavor. A lot of people are saying Jello flavor favorites are cherry, strawberry.
The red flavor is usually
red is good.
universal
The green I don't like.
favorite.
Yeah, I don't like the green at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our news flash. First one up, this wasn't even in the script, but we saw that WB tweeted out a fun little clip kind of promoting what is coming to HBO Max / theaters because they're doing like kind of the simultaneous release of their 2021 slates.
Stuff.
But we got to see a very short, I mean, there's many clips for many movies. Tom and Jerry's in there, Space Jam.
Mortal Kombat was
Mortal
in there. Space, yeah,
Kombat,
you're right. Space Jam.
The Conjuring. I said Tom and Jerry already.
Mhm.
The Little Things.
Mhm.
Other movies that are
Their
under
entire slate for the Matrix.
Suicide Squad. Okay,
Matrix, Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's honestly, I love those little clips of things that we have just to kind of just get you excited and to be like, all this cool stuff coming to HBO Max.
Yes,
and
and
being able
Dune
to
as well.
And Dune.
Yes.
But did
So
they
excited.
have a clip for that? I don't remember.
I think
They
they
might have been up there
showed
for like a
Timothy
split second.
Chalamet for like a hot second.
That's what it was.
I think. I don't remember. It was quick. But what we focused on was that very quick, very fast Godzilla versus Kong clip where you have the two monsters out of the water and you just see Kong going boom and just punching Godzilla across the face. Imagine that.
Oh, and
You're
Justin,
punching-
I'm sorry. They didn't have
Justin?
a
Justin. Okay.
Justin said a clip from Matrix 4, and I was like, well,
No.
it was just the title
card.
screen. Yeah, title card said Matrix 4, or actually just said Matrix.
Actually, let me go
across the
ahead and
top.
put the tweet. Oh, I lost it. Let me go ahead and put the tweet that WB put out in the chat. So you guys, if you wanted to like watch it, you can. So let me go ahead and do that. Right now, it is in the chat. So if you guys have Twitter, even if you don't have Twitter, you can click on
you
it
can still go and check
it out directly from Warner Brother Pictures. It just looks really cool. Like I'm really excited to see the two of them duke it out.
Yeah.
And I'm also wearing my I gotta pimp my
this
outfit.
hoodie that you got is pretty freaking cool.
I got it from Hero Within, which is a small business brand that focuses on geek fashion for men and women. They actually started out catering to more of their male audience, and they have a lot of cool like DC, everything's licensed, like their DC stuff. They have like really cool, if you work in an office and you need to wear, like a suit, they actually had a really cool Batman jacket. They have a Superman jacket. It's very subtle, so you don't,
it doesn't
back in the day,
nerd.
Right? Back in the day when we
Just
used to be able to go
nerd.
into an office, it's a very subtle hint, like everything is kind of hidden in the seaming. But this is straight up like fandom is out, and this is my Ghidorah. You can see Ghidorah there. Outfit.
And I like the way it's colored too. Only specific colors are actually popping, and everything else is black and white.
And it's a hoodie. So yeah, I really like it, and I saw that I was like, "Oh, Godzilla! I have this sweater that I bought over the holidays, and I haven't had a chance to wear it yet, so I will today." So yeah, you guys, very excited about Godzilla versus King Kong. I just want the fight to be so epic. There's something satisfying to watch two like these forces of nature face off.
It's going to be interesting because first they're going to have Kong show up on Skull Island and get off of Skull Island. Then Godzilla has to show up. He does his rampaging, and then they rampage together
Mhm.
and seeing that brutal fight. And I'm really curious on to see how King Kong actually like picks up a side of a building and just smacks Godzilla across the face with it.
Oh,
Is King Kong is like how vulnerable is Godzilla, or how vulnerable is King Kong
we'll
going to
try
be
that
to
again.
Godzilla's fire breath? So I mean, it was just really cool to see like Godzilla,
Your brain got ahead of your mouth
yeah, and
a little
flipping
bit.
things around. So I mean, just those. It was really like a 3-second clip. 1 second of Godzilla, 1 second of King Kong, and then 1 second of King Kong punching Godzilla.
It just looks really, really cool. If you
Looks
guys
really
have,
cool. And then right after that, you got that shot of Sub-Zero working with the ice water.
yeah, which
And
we will talk about Mortal Kombat later on in today's show as one of our main topics. And before we dive into our next piece of news flash, we have a super chat from Ronnie. Thank you so much,
Ronnie, thank you.
Ronnie writes, Warner Brothers is gonna be crazy up until April with Mortal Kombat, the Snyder Cut, Godzilla vs. Kong. So exciting. Yeah, there's a lot.
So much good stuff that's coming out that I can't wait to see. And especially like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so excited that's coming straight to HBO Max. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Also
I
in
would
theater, in
much
select theaters.
rather, if we had the ability to go and see it in the theaters, I would love to sit there, huge audience, everyone laughing, everyone just going, yeah, going nuts,
Yeah.
shoving popcorn in my face, kind of a thing.
Well, you know, when
We'll have to have
the
microwave
time
popcorn.
when the time is right and when we all feel safe to go back into theaters, I hope that they, if it's past the date of the release for these films, maybe they'll do like a special period and say like you can catch King Kong these 3 weekends, and then people will get to go to theaters and enjoy. And like I know a lot of us are dying to go back to the theaters, so here's fingers crossed for that. But lucky for us, everybody who are in the US, we have the ability to be a subscriber to HBO Max, which you and I are. So
Yeah.
we will get to be watch these movies as they come out, and you have like a month to watch them
Yeah.
on HBO Max. So
And something that I really
we'll watch
hope,
it several times,
especially for a lot of our audience members that are over in the UK, that are over across seas. Hopefully, by the time the Snyder Cut comes out and some of these awesome movies come out, HBO will have everything all set up so they, people in other countries can see it. So
yeah.
I am hoping that everything comes together with HBO and we're able to see all of these amazing
Fingers
movies.
Yeah, we want everybody to be safe and still be able to see these movies, and I think one of the ways to do that is to make HBO more available for globally. And obviously I don't really know the details of like how that exactly works, but I just feel really lucky that we get to have it. And hey, look, we have another super chat from Amr now.
Hey,
Amr, how are you?
much.
Thank you so much for your super chat. Amr writes, hey guys, this is an unpopular opinion, but Godzilla 1998 was actually pretty good. I prefer that cool looking Godzilla than the fat one.
Well, okay. In the defense of some of the older movies,
1998. Okay, I'm gonna look it up real quick on my phone.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, I think that was the one with Matthew Broderick, right? Not Matthew.
Is it Ferris Bueller?
Yeah,
Bueller?
that was the one.
That
one. It was a completely. They made Godzilla look more.
Why don't I remember this?
It didn't get very good reviews. I mean, if you like it, Armor, awesome. I mean, for any movie out there that people like,
Why
if
is
there's
it
anyone that trashes it.
T-Rex?
Yeah, they made it look more like a dinosaur. They made Godzilla look more like a dinosaur, and it was the one with the eggs that all. Spoiler alert! That all hatch, and then they're all running away from the baby Godzilla eggs.
What? I do not remember this.
You don't remember this movie?
I don't remember. Maybe I didn't see it. Is that possible that I didn't see it though?
It's possible. I mean, when the movie came out, it got pretty trashed.
It got trashed by
critics and audience members.
You guys, I missed it. I don't remember this.
And it had to
okay.
It was okay. I mean, they planned for it to be there to be multiple movies, especially the way that they ended how they ended the movie. But since it didn't get too good of reviews, and I don't think it did very well in the box office either.
I don't remember.
They ended up completely just scrapping it.
Wow. Do we have a Hulu premium account? Because we can't watch it on Hulu.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to watch it, we can always sit down and watch
2
it.
hours and 20 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, Maybe.
Oh yeah, and that was the one that Godzilla was a girl. Because Godzilla laid all the eggs.
Okay, well, that I guess that kind of makes sense, but not in the other because I is
Well,
Godzilla
actually, in some of the other ones, they never even mention
Yeah,
it.
they never. I mean, does it?
Yeah, I mean, how do you actually? You would think it actually would be pretty easy to tell, though. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
especially when Godzilla's just like stepping over your building, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's a girl
Well, I mean,
or a
it's
boy.
not necessarily always. That's not always the one identifier. You know, they're a whole different kind of being. So, uh, Amr says it was asexual.
Mm.
Oh gosh. All right, Debbie. It was a crappy movie. Maybe you blocked it out. It's possible, but I honestly don't remember it. I really, really don't remember it. Okay. We have one. Okay, before we move on to the oh my god, there's so many things that are happening right now. Discord is going crazy. What's happening in Discord? We'll take a look real quick. Okay. Oh, Jack just put in the Godzilla 1998. Maybe we'll bring that back for one of the retro trailer reviews
I think that's a good
for
idea.
for a movie that I've never seen. And you guys, before we go on to yeah, late to the party says, OMG, we would love to see Wendy watch Godzilla. Maybe that's a Patreon deal
Maybe
then.
we'll put that up. We'll do like
I
a quick.
definitely can't put it just on YouTube because copyright and stuff, but maybe we can do it in some way, like a watch along on Patreon or something like that. And Justin, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much.
your super chat donation. Justin, thanks so much. Have either of you seen Cobra Kai by any chance? I am currently up to date with the show, and it's surprisingly good and better written than most. We've been hearing amazing things about we need to watch season 2. In fact,
We
we
need to
probably
finish
will just
season
go
1.
back to like rewatch because it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense for us to just kind of jump in like we've been so focused on this show, doing this, doing that. Like
We need to do just like a binge of season 1, 2,
we'll just
and
binge
3.
it. Yeah, one of these days. And it's I'm just my schedule's a little full right now because there's all these movies for like the for your consideration stuff that I'm trying to watch and trying to review. And then of course there's like auditions, like a really nice one. Can't talk about it, but like a nice one came in today that I was like, oh okay. And I have until I think like Wednesday to turn it in. So usually auditions and self tapes takes top priority, but yes, we have heard that it is amazing. Late to the party, shameless plug for our friends, do episodic reactions on their YouTube channel, so go ahead and shoot over to their channel and check out their reactions and reviews, and they talk about Cobra Kai, which we will watch once we actually are caught up, because so we don't spoil anything for ourselves. All right, moving on to our next bit of news flash. Ethan Hawke, I spelled his name wrong.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I spelled his name wrong. It's Hawke with an E. All
There
right,
we go.
there we go.
It
All
is now
right.
corrected.
Ethan Hawke joins the cast of Moon Knight. This was kind of surprising to me. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Ethan Hawke may be playing a villain in the series. And while the article itself didn't name a specific villain, it did mention, I'm going to say the name wrong probably, Raoul Bushman, I think maybe is how you
Okay.
say it. Who's a mercenary who turns on our hero when the Egyptian gold came into the picture. But there are other potential villains that he could play. There is Black Spectre. There is Killer Shriek. Pronunciation to be questioned and corrected, and the Sun King. So you and I aren't as knowledgeable in Moon Knight.
No, I know kind of like the
I know
basics
nothing.
of Moon Knight. And just from what I know, it sounds like a very exciting series.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are adding Ethan Hawke, someone of Ethan Hawke's caliber of acting, to a series, it's always good news when you hear that a production that you're excited about adds good talent.
Yeah, and especially this would be, I believe, Ethan Hawke's like first role in a comic book superhero movie. Like he hadn't done anything like this in the past.
As far as I know, yeah, this is his first comic book genre movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see how he tackles it. I'm excited to see what villain they give him and once we find out what villain he's playing, we have a better idea of what the storyline's going to be.
Yeah.
So we can start kind of matching it up with a little bit from the comics here and there and see, okay, this is probably the storyline that they're going with.
Yes.
And then we can start all of our fun nerd theories and be like, well, maybe they're going to do this. That's one of the best things about talking about movie news is that you sometimes just get those little tidbits.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, what does it mean? What does it mean? What's in the box? Kind of a thing. What are they putting in this box that we're going to find out of goodies?
Yes. Yeah, very excited for that, for us to kind of dive into that whenever it is out on Disney Plus. I think they said that they're going to start filming in March of this year, pending the safety protocols and all that stuff when it comes to adhering to safety on set for COVID. So we will see. But like, that's really, really great news. Vanja really, really, really wants us to be in our Taekwondo outfits. Vanja, today is too hot. It is. I mean, granted,
It's in the middle of
I'm in a
winter.
cropped hoodie, but this is like, this is less warmth and more like fashion, I would say. Like, I'm comfortable,
Yeah.
but like in the winter, if it's like 30 degrees, this won't keep me warm.
Here
But
in California, we don't have winter.
today is 88 degrees, guys.
88 degrees, and we're a month into winter. So yeah,
88
I'm not looking. I am
88
not
degrees.
looking forward to what
crazy.
the summer is going to be like this year.
Oh God, I don't want to think about it. A couple of super chats before we dive into our next topic. Thank you so much, Justin, for your super chat.
Thank you so
my
much, man.
gosh. Justin writes, do you think it's possible / would you like to see Moon Knight interact with characters like Daredevil, Punisher, Heroes for Hire? I
Oh,
want him
yeah.
to be a part of the Defenders, which didn't happen, but who knows? Look, now with them transitioning to putting like the MCU and kind of crossing that TV line, you know, before the TV shows and the MCU didn't quite mix.
Yeah,
Like that's
they kind of
canon and that's like separate.
mentioned the Battle of New York,
A little
but
bit,
it
yeah.
was
Well, the TV
kind.
show would mention it, but the movie would never do it the other. It wasn't ever the
Yeah,
other way around. But now that we've inserted, you know, now we have WandaVision. Now it's on Disney Plus, and I think Kevin Feige even said in one of the many interviews that he's done, I think in one of the articles that I read, that it's not out of the question. I would love nothing more for to see some of these characters interact, as long as it stays within the storyline and it's not just to show up, like
yeah,
where it like it's like, okay, well, XYZ could have like set this line, and like it needs to have an impact for a hero to show up. I want it to be some sort of impact. I want it to look cool, whether it's to serve a part of the story or to serve up a really cool fight scene,
yeah.
whatever it may be. Just, you know, there, I want there to be good reason for it. I would love to see Daredevil and the Punisher and Heroes for Hire all over again, because like I loved Jessica Jones, I love Daredevil, I really like the
Mhm.
Punisher, I love Luke Cage, Iron Fist. I had really high hopes for the show, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
like
me
I watched it, I
too.
was like, it's not what I wanted. But I do love Jessica Henwick in it. I think she's amazing. I would love to see more of her.
Mhm.
So yeah, absolutely, we would love to see some sort of an interaction. I would also love to see them bring back, you know, Charlie Cox as
Yeah. He
Daredevil.
did an amazing
I
job.
need Kingpin in my life. I
Oh,
need Punisher and
he
Frank
did such a good
Castle.
job.
I need Jessica Jones, like all of it, you know, Luke Cage. I would love for all of that to come back. And just to kind of go back a little bit to the weather here. Late to the Party says we are 78 degrees here in Tucson, Arizona.
Wait,
Lovely.
it's hotter here than it is in
How?
Arizona?
Oh,
That's weird. Normally it's the other way
Adam says it
around.
was 91 yesterday over here.
Oh,
Ruru 2 says 34 tonight. Wow. 4 degrees in the UK.
yikes.
Pass.
Well, that's also probably in a
Pass.
different. That's probably in Celsius when we do Fahrenheit. I honestly don't know what the conversion is. I personally,
okay.
I personally think that the U.S. really should change to just so everyone's on the same level, on the same page with mathematics.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I don't know if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit for them.
I am not sure. Let us know, Jack, in the chat. We'll keep our eye out for your for your answer. Noah says, why did Dustin and Wendy say movie? Probably a slip of the tongue.
Probably, sorry.
Because Moon Knight is supposed to be a show and not a,
Yes.
did I write movie? I probably did. Let me just check.
It's one of those things that like
I didn't write it, but I probably said it wrong. My bad.
Since we're so used to talking about movies and especially comic book movies, it's hard to sometimes separate the two.
Now I'm confusing myself. Moon Knight is a series, right?
Yeah, Moon Knight is going to be a TV series on Disney Plus.
Okay. Is it though?
Is it? Yeah.
Disney Plus. Okay. Yeah. I had to question myself because there's so much information in my brain. We have a super chat from Dodger Ryan 124.
Thank you,
Dodger Ryan. Thank you so much. Have you guys seen Outside the Wire with Anthony Mackie on Netflix? Thanks, guys. We have not. It is on my list. I jotted down yesterday. Really enjoy Anthony Mackie, and I love seeing, you know, our kind of beloved MCU characters, the actors who portray them, step outside and away from that. Like,
and it's really cool to see them change.
Yeah, because like they're obviously they can do more than just superhero roles. We're just so used to seeing them because we love and we kind of immerse ourselves, whether it's a DC film or a Marvel film.
Hmm.
So I just love that they're able to, have obviously like a paycheck from Marvel is nice. And to play that character and have that job security is awesome, is
And also
also
get
really
kind of get
nice.
that exposure.
But yeah, and at the same time, you're an artist, you're a creator, you're an actor. So of course you want to be able to tell their stories and be other characters and stretch that muscle. And so I think I've heard like really good things about the show. So
Hmm.
definitely on the list to check out. Ryan, thank you so much. Hope that answers your question and thank you for your super chat.
And I love what the MCU is starting to do for a lot of actors. I mean,
Mhm.
especially like Tom Holland, how he's gotten
Oh my
all of these
gosh.
amazing roles after he got
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And you know what? It's Marvel's so far been doing a pretty good job on getting like up and comers for a lot of their roles. You know, when they got Chris Hemsworth for Thor, they had a lot of talk. I mean, he wasn't really that big at the time, but it was once
He's
they saw the
Thor.
talent, and for a while there was murmurs about him being a huge up and comer.
Yeah, well, there you look at him now.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of our favorite MCU characters, we could possibly see Chris Evans as the Cap again. Well, you guys get this man a shield because Deadline reports that Chris Evans is expected to reprise his role as Captain America in the MCU in some form. So there are so far no details on whether the deal is closed, but insiders do say that he may return in at least one Marvel property with the door open for a second film. But it is unlikely that it's another like installment of a Captain America film because I feel
Yeah.
like with the Avenger films, with the last installment of that, we kind of saw where Cap's story was. So the article is saying that most likely he'll take on more of a Robert Downey Jr. kind of a role, how Downey Jr.'s appearance was in like Civil War or Homecoming and things like that. However, we always remember that these news reports that in them they always write Marvel has not confirmed or commented on this, so we will take this with a grain of salt, of course, but it's a little salt bay, a little salt news bay, a little news flash bay for you guys. But that's really exciting because I love him as the Cap, and I know that his story kind of in a way has ended at the end of the road when it came
Yeah.
to the last phrase of the Avenger films, but who knows, especially now we're diving into multiverse, maybe a little bit of time travel and things
Hmm.
like that. So he could reprise for a flashback or a different dimension or a different timeline, whatever it may be, which is really exciting.
And I'm just honestly, I would love to see like old Steve Rogers take on like a leadership role,
Hmm.
kind of like the next Nick Fury kind of a thing,
Hmm.
to where he's the one who's, telling people where to go. He's like, I'm too old for this. So you guys, we need to send in the youngins. They're the ones who are the fighting crew like I used to be.
Yeah.
But now it's, he's a little bit more gruff, a little bit
And it
more.
could be, like older Steve Rogers. Like, why not? Just because he's older doesn't mean he can't be in an MCU film.
Very true. And
So
that means Chris Evans has got to get in all of that old makeup again.
I think he enjoys it. Why not?
They almost should have gotten Chris Evans to kind of do that Saturday Night Live Joe Biden thing, because he kind of looked like
It's
an
funny.
old Joe
Dr.
Biden.
Ryan just said
Someone
that
just
old
said
man
that?
Steve Rogers equals Joe Biden.
That
Oh
is
my
hilarious.
goodness. And then Debbie,
Oh,
interesting thing from Debbie. Debbie writes, he could also return as Johnny Storm. The multiverse is in play. I mean, he did play that character.
that would be funny if he
We can get
comes
him and Michael B. Jordan,
back.
and they can meet.
And they're like, what? You?
How?
Huh?
What?
You? For like a Spider-Man thing.
That's great. Oh man, amazing. How much fun is that? All right, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into our main topic. One of the first ones is our thoughts on the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Now, before we dive into discussions, we will be talking spoilers. So if you haven't watched WandaVision yet, I would say put us on mute for the next like 5 minutes or so and maybe like close the chat, just so you don't get anything spoiled for you. Even although I will say no, I'm not going to say that. Spoiler, just spoiler warning. So I will do this once we are done with talking about spoilers. So with that said,
Do you want to
WandaVision.
put like a little tag saying WandaVision spoilers?
Oh yeah, I
Just
could do
so if
that.
someone happens to come
Yes,
in
yes,
the
you're
middle
right.
of our conversation, they're not like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But
Let
yeah,
me fix that
honestly,
real quick.
I loved what they did with this. and I want to talk some spoilers with you guys. I want to chit chat a little bit about it to get your thoughts and opinions on
There we go.
certain topics and ideas
Go for
and
it.
theories.
Go for it.
Theories are the best.
Yes.
Because that's when our real nerd comes out.
Yeah, what I really liked about episode 1 was that they kind of they dove into that sitcom era, that 50s, like Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy sort of a vibe, the black and white, all the way to the Marvel theme song and the opening title, to changing it to black and white, and the aspect of the picture, they changed it to, to fit the era, to fit the theme overall, and they never came out of it. Even the way it's filmed, with, I thought it was a laugh track, and then I read somewhere that it actually, for episode 1, it's actually not laugh track. It's actually, they had a live audience for the first episode.
That I didn't, and then they used the laugh
I
track.
don't know how true that is, but I did read that. I can't remember where I read that from, but maybe it was in Discord. But I think that's really cool that the audience were treated to, something so special, because what I really like so far about WandaVision, that it's very different from like MCU, because when we think MCU movies, we think like, okay, these characters coming alive, out, leaping out of the pages of a comic book, and then like fighting. But WandaVision is not about that at all. It's very like psychological, not a thriller, but just like you gotta, it's a multi-watch, I think, because you can pick up little Easter eggs. You got to read between or listen between the lines, and you got to look for clues and things like that. It's just a load of fun, and I loved the first episode. What I didn't expect was how funny it was going to be.
Yeah, honestly, I have to admit that I thought, okay, they're going to be doing all of these cliches. There's got to be a little bit more story that goes in. And even though there wasn't more of like, hey, what's going on in this reality? Just watching the show was super entertaining. I still loved that, the fact that they hit all of the cliches.
Yes.
That they hit, got to have the boss over for dinner, the miscommunication between the wife and the husband.
Yes.
Of one is thinking one thing, one is thinking another, and they think that they're on the same page. I love how they were like, you can phase through walls, and I can levitate a pencil. There's no need for shorthand on the calendar.
Oh yeah, we don't need an abbreviation.
We don't need to abbreviate.
And there's a lot of really great in our comment section for these reactions, just kind of talking about the theories. And in episode 1, Wanda and Vision were trying to figure out what the heart is around the date, the 23rd of August. And I was like, what is specific to that date? Like, what's the heart? And I was thinking like, what, the day they met, the anniversary, and then the boss's name is Hart, Hart. So we're like, maybe that just doesn't seem to line up exactly right, but that's kind of like the theory that Vision went with. So one of the comments on our video is saying that August 23rd was the premiere date of Infinity War.
Yes.
And that is technically Vision's death, if you will. So that's why Wanda has a little heart around it, but she doesn't acknowledge it, because she obviously, this is all kind of like living inside her head. It's Wanda's reality, hence it's called WandaVision. Like a lot of play on words here, like WandaVision because Wanda and Vision, but also WandaVision because it's her reality, her vision. So in
a sense, it is her vision.
Yeah, it's her vision.
I'm assuming, since as far as we know, Vision is dead.
Yeah.
From the MC, from Infinity War.
He lives on in her heart forever.
But since she's really able to recreate them, it really is her vision. It's her. I'm wondering if it's more of her idea of Vision, kind of a thing. So he's not really. It's kind of like, if I were to try and describe someone, it would be my interpretation of who that person is. Is this really Vision? Or is this just Wanda's interpretation of Vision that she created?
I think for my theory, my headcanon is that she has created her, not like persona or her interpretation of Vision, but it's the life that she would have had with Vision had he not been taken away from her.
The dream life.
The dream life. And it's very much because she, very much inspired by the TV she probably grew up watching. So, the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Bewitched, the I Love Lucy, the Married with Children, the Brady Bunch, and that all kind of plays out. And that's why it goes through the eras. And I love that, because this is her world. She's very much a guardian of this world, where she is like, the actual reality is trying to come in. No. So from the little things like the toy helicopter from Sword to
Yeah.
to
To the
the
beekeeper.
radio, the beekeeper. Like, what the heck is that about?
And it was really cool how she's just like, no.
And rewound it. She was like, I'm gonna rewind this. I'm gonna reset it, and he's not gonna have heard anything at all because I am not letting anybody interrupt my perfect dream.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also what's the fact that she is so protective of it is going to play a very, very integral role, because that's kind of how it was in the comic books, because she fought for that reality. She wanted to have Vision back. She wanted in the comic books, she wanted to have her kids. And the fact that it was her losing her grip on reality that made those things taken away from her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was her that killed Vision in the comic books. So I just to see her fight for this, no matter, even if there's something there that she's like, no, this is the real reality. It's the fact that she's like, no, I don't care what it is. I have the power. This is my world.
Imagine
You're
being
not taking
that
it from me.
so heartbroken that like she's got to do, to kind of console herself.
Yeah.
And other little things like, Jimmy Woo's voice coming through the radio, Wanda, who's doing this to you, to at the end of episode 1, we see a hand scribbling down some notes in the notebook, where I kind of like surveying like the Wanda vision, like the TV, as we kind of pulled back right before we hit the end credit. And in a lot of the comments, people are speculating, they're probably right, that it's Darcy, whose hand that is. What else? I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything right now.
I have a theory.
Beekeeper,
the beekeeper,
sword.
the helicopter.
Okay.
Well, then there was the color of the blood on her,
the red
on her hand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other points to where she had to, deliberately kind of go no and force this reality in there.
There's a couple. There's
another
there's
one.
Come
more and more.
Yeah,
often.
there'll be more and more as we kind of peel back the layers of this. And I also really like the insertion of the commercials.
Yeah.
The first one was like Toaster 2000 or something like that.
Stark.
For Stark, which, if you guys remember the story, and a lot of you guys who have watched our reaction videos have put this in the comments, that this is kind of the commercials kind of resemble like her experience in her past.
Yeah.
How Stark Industry, which has caused her family to the weapon that caused her family.
And here's also something else. Yeah, because that was the first tragedy, which was Stark. But then it was Strucker
and Hydra.
Which
kind of gave her the twins, the powers.
Yeah, that gave them the miracles. There's nothing more terrifying
to
than a
be
miracle.
Experimented on like that. Yeah, it's so I like look forward to the commercials, because it's another clue. And also a fun theory that came in our comments is that the two actors that are always in the commercial, because even though it's a different commercial, it's the same couple, that they're saying that possibly those could be her parents.
Ooh.
I don't know. These are theories.
Was that in the comments of our video? It's in the comments.
Yeah, it's one
I
of the
gotta read
comments.
through more of them.
I know.
Now.
They just keep coming, so I can't.
If they could introduce that those are her parents. And I'm really curious, since she brought back Vision from the dead, are we going to
I want to see her brother, Quicksilver. Yes.
Pietro come back. So I'm excited to see where they take this. The first 2 episodes are very much setting up the mood, having a little bit of fun, giving a few little drops of what's wrong with this world, kind of a thing. What's going on with this world? And that's also something that they were really catching on, kind of like if you ever saw the movie Pleasantville.
Yeah.
True. Yes. They had, this is what the world's supposed to be. With the color
and everything.
But it's showing the underbelly. It's showing the secrets, kind of what's wrong in Pleasantville, kind of a thing. Now, I also just have a theory that just kind of popped in my head about what might be going on. I want to hear some of your guys' thoughts, and then we'll go back to some of our news.
Yes.
But so I'm curious about how this all started, because at the end of Endgame, we saw Wanda pop in after being dusted. She came in through the portal with all of the on your left people.
And basically
and did the whole "you took everything from me."
Oh, she would have killed. She would have killed him if he hadn't said "Rain Fire." Like she would have killed him. But sir, our troops, just do it. I was like, you're desperate. You are so desperate.
Yes, it is, and it shows the power of Wanda. That Wanda could actually probably have taken on Thanos.
He didn't call backup for any other Avengers.
Nope.
He was.
But at that moment, and at the end of Endgame, she kind of seemed in a, you know, a relatively good state of mind, kind of a thing.
Because
So,
she's, I wonder.
but I'm wondering if what happened was is the rest of the Avengers, now that Thanos is gone, there's still other threats out there. So they went after either AIM or Hydra, or AIM and Hydra are working together. They were doing some kind of technology, and the new Avengers went in for an attack. However, something there triggered a psychosis or a psychological break for Wanda, and that is now kind of like she's taken over, like this whole reality is kind of taken over the facility or something, or to where because who are these other people in there? Because they seem like they know that they're in a reality, but they're fighting against it.
You mean the neighbors?
Yeah,
the
the
residents?
neighbors
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
Herb and Agnes. Like we know that she is, you know, technically Agnes.
Agatha. Oh, no,
Agatha,
it's
Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
But like, you know, and also we have the introduction of, she calls herself Geraldine, but we know it's Monica Rambeau, the woman with the
we
sword
know
necklace.
that she makes an appearance.
Yeah, so like we in the trailer you guys saw her. So like it's nice to get to see her already in like the second episode, to kind of be like, oh, what, because remember when she like introduced herself as Geraldine, I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure that that's the same actress who's supposed to play Monica Rambeau. But so we're gonna be patient and we're gonna let it play out, and
So many fun theories. Exactly what Vanja said. It's all nerd fiction.
Nerd fiction.
It's just us drooling over what's gonna happen next.
It's really great, yeah. And also, okay, go ahead.
Something else that someone said in there, just bringing up a subject about Magneto being Wanda's father. I'm wondering, since they now have the rights to X-Men, they have the rights to all of those characters.
Can we have Ian McKellen come back as Magneto?
Are they going to expand the universe? Are they going to bring in Magneto? Are they going to start talking about the X-Men kind of a thing? If they, because in the commercial they said the universe is expanding.
Yeah, it is expanding.
That mean the X-Men? Because that would be expanding the universe, and I want to see it.
I mean,
give it to me, Disney.
I think it's all very possible. I think now that, you know, we're now getting into phase 4 of the MCU, and they've done a lot of like world building to kind of get us closer to this. It just wouldn't have made sense to do it right off the bat, especially in the beginning. They didn't have the rights, but now that there's the merger, everything is possible as long as they do it. They take the time to do it right. That's what I want. Is, of course, why not? Of course, I would want to see it, but do I want to like right away and just not have it flesh out? No, I want to like figure it out, plan it out. We got Feige, you know, kind of orchestrating all of this. So just take the time to give us a good story.
Real quick, I would love to see what would happen if Deadpool was in the world of Wanda. Would he actually be affected by this reality alter stuff? Or Deadpool? Or since he's already kind of crazy and he's breaking the fourth wall all the time, would he still be kind of like into the world, or would he be kind of like immune to the effects of Wanda's
I don't think
reality?
Anyone can be immune to Wanda's.
Oh,
I think she's very powerful, and what makes me really so sad. I mean, the show's great and it's funny, and I love them, but what makes me really sad is to know what Wanda had gone through, where she had to destroy the Mind Stone so that Thanos wouldn't get it, just for Thanos to show up, turn back time, and to destroy it all over again. So she had to watch the love of her life die twice. And at the end of all this, when everything comes unraveled, because we're guessing, we don't know, we're guessing about by the end of the series that we're going to start to see the real world and Wanda's world kind of collide and glitch out. And she's going to realize that like this,
it's not real.
Yeah. Or not realize. I think she knows that it's not real.
Yeah.
But that
she's deluding herself.
It's going to start getting, you know, pulled apart. And that heartbreak, I almost don't want to see. It's just like watching like Diana Prince and Wonder Woman losing Steve Asseg. Like you know, like I didn't love the movie, you know, as much as I thought I was going to love that movie. But that part was heart wrenching. I was like, why would you bring him back just to kill him off again? We all know this was going to happen. It hurt so much more the second time. So and then somebody says that where is it? Will we do all the reactions for the rest of the show? As of now, yes, but I will say episode two took me 12 hours of edit. Like I stayed up until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock the next
I
morning
felt so bad
to
for
do
her.
it. And I only went to bed not because it was done. It wasn't going up. It was still getting blocked. I only quit for the time being because I knew I needed to get sleep and I knew there were other things I needed to do on that day. And if I didn't sleep, I couldn't function as a human being. So that is why that is why I took a break. But look, nonetheless, it's up. And we'll see what happens next week with episode 3. But if we don't do reactions, and we'll do spoiler reviews. But the hope is that
We can do reactions for every single one.
yeah, that editing won't be so crazy. And thank you so much to Dark Fate 66 for your super chat. Thank you, you two. Crazy Show just finished second episode. I can't wait for episode 3. I seriously
I can't wait.
cannot wait. It's gonna be so
And
good.
now that it's in that Technicolor,
yeah, now we'll have the next show in color. So I'm
so that
very,
means it's
very
going to be
excited.
okay. So that means probably the next
Married
because
with Children.
it was,
No, like
no, Married with Children was like in the 80s, 90s. What am I thinking? But
so
this
what's the
maybe
next
more
one?
like because was Brady Bunch kind
I think
of
that's
in
too.
color,
I think
or was that
maybe not. Yeah, maybe like an I Love Genie instead.
I Dream of Jeannie? It's
I Dream of
close.
Genie.
But it's going to be one of those things we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, we will wait and see. All right, guys. Spoilers are over. No more spoilers talk about WandaVision. We will dive into first look at Mortal Kombat. Mortal Fatality. We have our first look at Mortal Kombat, and this is directed by Simon. I'm gonna say the last name wrong, like I always do. McCoy, I think. And the cast includes Louis Tan, Jessica McNamee, Josh Lawson, Tadanobu Asano, Mikado Brooks from Supergirl. Love him, Ludi Lin, Power Ranger, Chin Han, Joe Las Lim. Sorry if I'm saying any of these names incorrectly. Hiroyuki Sanada, Max Huang, Cece Stringer, Matilda Kimber, and Laura Brent. And in this iteration, the story will kind of center, I believe, on Louis Tan's character, Cole Young, who's like an MMA fighter, who is haunted by Sub-Zero. And this will be arriving in theaters and on HBO Max on April 16th. I'm so excited. And we did pull up some pictures that is basically released all over the internet, so you guys can take a look at some of these photos. I'll go ahead and drop the banner so you guys can get a better look. But Dustin, what are you thinking about all these images from Mortal Kombat?
I am actually super excited to see how they take this, because you could do this really well. The concept of a championship of this other world trying to invade Earth is a very cool concept. I love that picture.
Yeah, right.
That one just looks so badass.
Looks sick.
So I'm very excited to see how they treat this story, because honestly, that's what it all comes down to.
This does not look like Mikado Brooks at all.
I know, but it looks like Jax.
Yeah.
With those super robotic arms.
Yeah.
So,
and of course,
Sub-Zero. Which we saw that little clip.
That's on the clip, the Warner Brothers clip.
He's forming a sword.
Oh, dang! The right hand or the left hand is holding a fit. It's holding the
It's
hilt.
holding the hilt, and that is going to turn into a frickin' sword that he's going to fight with, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, it's so far getting me super pumped.
Mm-hmm.
The way it looks grittier. It looks a little bit more grounded, kind of thing. It has a lot of the color tones seem to be very like earthy, kind of
like a little bit more muted.
Yeah, a little bit more muted. So it's not like this bright, vibrant kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but once again, will it hold the curse of the video game movie?
I don't know. Yeah, the cast is pretty good.
There are some video game movies that have broken that. Some have been able to pull away and tell a good story. Will Mortal Kombat be able to do that? The only way we'll know is
I think it's interesting that they're using the character Cole Young. Is that who I wrote? Cole Young. Yeah. I think it's going to be helpful that they have someone like him. So it's not just it's like a new, because how do you take this like super. It's been told so many times already. Not so many times, but it's been told a couple of times in the past, Mortal Kombat. So like they wanted to make it fresh. They want to make it like relevant in 2021. And it's going to look cool, but it's going to still satisfy the video game fans, the property. So I think this is going to be a really good way to do it. And a couple of super chat from you guys. Thank you so much for all of you super chats.
Thank
By
you
the
guys
way,
so much.
thank you so
Yes.
much. And I didn't put my StreamYard thing up. I should probably check it. Ryan, Dodger Ryan 124 writes, I recommend Mortal Kombat Conquest 1998 live action. It is only one season, but I thought it was good. Have you seen it?
I think, oh God, that's seen how that was like what 22 years ago when it came out.
Mm,
I do
I don't think I've
vaguely
seen it.
remember it. It wasn't something that, if I'm not mistaken, it didn't come out on like widespread. It
Okay.
was just something that it was like a guy who was able to put together a good enough budget, and he actually put together like his kind of like what is it? If you took the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one that they did, that was really brutal and graphic, but then actually give it a few episodes, it was actually pretty cool. And they treated it more of like kind of like an espionage kind of a movie.
Oh.
And I have to go back and watch it. But yeah, I remember going, this is a pretty cool take on what to do. So I'm wondering if they're going to take any notes from that, or
possible.
if they're really going to go just 100% down the road of
make it very original.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to just make up their own thing.
I mean, we don't have to wait that long. April is really not that far away if you think about it.
Pretty close, right?
Guys, I mean, look, we made it through 2020, all of 2020, so we can make it to April. We have another super chat from Black Bono Lala. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing good. Mortal Kombat, be great, please. We hope so. We hope so well. And I want to mention, I believe this is going to be R-rated.
Yeah, oh, it better be R-rated.
Fatality.
Yeah, I mean, if they made a PG,
no, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to do Mortal Kombat right, yeah, you have to make it rated R.
Yeah,
I mean, you really, really do. I mean, you kind of pulled it off with the PG-13 one that originally came out.
Sure, but times are different.
And I think you really need to make this rated R.
Yeah, I mean, we want it. We'll pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
We'll watch it. Yeah, we don't mind. We don't mind the gore and stuff. All right, guys, moving on to our final topic for today. And this one hits really close to home because we are both Disneyland annual pass holders. And of course, Disneyland canceled their annual pass holder program. What? So yeah, I actually got the email from Disney the day before like the announcement was made like public. I saw the email first and I was like, oh no. So here is what some of the from the email that we got, and it says, in the next several days, we will begin the process of issuing appropriate refunds for eligible Disneyland Resort annual passports and sunsetting the current annual passport program due to the continued uncertainty of the pandemic and limitations and expected restrictions around the reopening of our theme park. And then something else they said in the email is, I know that sunsetting the annual passport program will be disappointing to many of our pass holders who are just as anxious as we are to reopen our gates and welcome guests back when the time is right. But we're also very excited for what is ahead. We plan to use this time while we remain closed to develop new membership offerings that will utilize consumer insights to deliver choice, flexibility, and value for our biggest fans. Once we have more information to share about future membership offerings, our pass holders will be the first to hear from us as we embark on this new chapter. And there you have it. Look, I haven't felt like a pass holder for a whole year because the last time we went to Disney was February.
Yep.
Got on the Rise of Resistance and then like spent the day there, and that was pretty much it. Because after that, in March, like I just didn't feel okay with going. Like we even brought our masks that day in February because we already have them because like I have really bad allergies, so I had masks before masks was like a mandated thing, mandatory thing in public places such as like Disney World and grocery stores. So we had them, but like we didn't really use them.
No,
it wasn't super crowded that day.
And back then it was still kind, this was back in February. So yeah, it was still kind of not, it was played down a lot, at that time. So yeah, not really having to wear a mask. But the thing is, yeah, we haven't gone for almost an entire year. And it is just sad to hear that they're 100% canceling this.
Yeah. But they use the term sunsetting.
I know, instead of canceling.
It has a less harsh tone. It's canceled. Like, we're sunsetting it. It's like, no, it's just call it out for what it is.
And I'm just really curious on what we're going to get in its place. Wendy and I actually had a pretty sweet setup because we were grandfathered into an old program.
Yes.
And then we were still able to get like a pass that had the what is it called? The free parking that normally doesn't get the free parking. And I'm just really nervous that the new thing that they're going to roll out is going to be us paying more for less, that for and getting less.
Yep.
I'm hoping that they're not going to do that. I'm hoping that they will try and find a way, because they're going to want people to come back to the park as much as possible. I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to get a pass.
Yeah, I will miss having a pass. I also want to call out, Vanja says that I said ass holder. I did not. I said pass holder, but the pa sounded a little silent. But also that is a term that has been coined, um because some of the annual pass holders have in the past, I don't want to say abused their privilege, but they get this like, and I've seen it firsthand too, this
yeah.
like sense of entitlement because they hold an annual pass. And I'm just thinking, you are not more, in my opinion, I, as a pass holder, am not more important or less important than somebody who is coming to the park for a day. Just because I willingly, it was my choice to give Disney that amount of money to be able to visit the park as frequently or as infrequently as I want to. But that was my choice, right?
Yeah.
Nobody held me to like, you have to sign on the dotted line. You will give this much money to the theme park. Therefore, like, no, I don't have to do that. I could be a pass holder to Universal. I could be a pass holder to Knott's. I chose Disney because I'm a Disney fan. So like, I have at firsthand seeing like the entitledness of like, well, why do I have to hold in line, like stand in line? I'm a pass holder. I'm like, so what though? So what? What is that? What? So
that is something that I also noticed a lot too. Yeah, was that there were some pass holders who felt entitled.
yes.
I'm hoping now that I think you're always going to get those kind of guests.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of our people in the chats who used to work at Disneyland can tell us stories of left, right, up, down of
But I'm
just
a pass holder.
of some of the
Good for you.
best,
Love
of
that
some
for
of the
you.
best and the worst guests
So
that
am
go
I.
to Disney. So,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that this does a good kind of reset, that they're not going to be solely focused. Well, actually, they're a big corporation. Of course, they're going to be solely focused on how do we make the most profit.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that there's going to be a nice balance of them going, well, yeah, we can't overcharge them because no one's going to buy it. And if we undercharge them, then it's going to be too crowded. So I'm just curious on what they're going to do.
Yeah, I feel like, so you and I have had a pass for Disney for probably since the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah, no, actually,
So
going to Disneyland was one of our first big
official like big oh,
big
we're a
official
couple
dates.
now. We're gonna go to Disneyland.
And
It's
then
like
we're
equivalent
yeah,
to
let's
like
get a pass.
making the relationship public on Facebook.
In a relationship.
So stupid. But we did go to Disneyland for one of our first like big like date outing sort of a deal, not just like dinner and a movie or like go hang out with each other at each other's like apartments or whatever. But so at least 12 years of being, going to Disney a lot. And throughout our kind of entire time as a pass holder, we've noticed the price jumps, not just for pass holders, not just the tiers, but in single day tickets or park hopper tickets as well. Like we've seen it go up and up and up, and we've seen Disney continuously try to raise the parks of the annual pass holders, because there were so many people that were signed in for that were subscribers, whatever you want to call it, that are annual pass holders, that they were kind of almost crowding the park because they were going all the time. So Disney wanted to kind of not put a cap on it, but to kind of help encourage other people to also come to the park who are just like one day visitors, out of towners and things like that.
Yeah.
And also on the article that we read, record shows that pass holders were shown to not spend as much as the people who are out of towners who would just have like this one weekend to be at Disney, which makes sense, right? Because we live here. So we have that mentality of like,
If
Oh, that's
traffic,
really cute. Like, I don't need to buy this today, but where the out of towners, this is their one weekend, their one yearly trip to Disney, perhaps. Um, they're gonna buy as much as possible. They're gonna haul all of the stuff home because this is their one chance. So there is that difference. On the flip side, I have seen pass holders who stand in line for like exclusives and they will buy as much as possible. Like I've seen both sides, but I understand kind of the the science, the what am I trying to say? Kind of like the study behind that.
oh yeah.
So they want to trying to lessen, I guess, like the capacity. They want to make it more of an even because I think right now it's skewed towards like pass holders being the majority of the attendance in the park. So they want to kind of try to skew it back to a little bit more even
Well, and
kill.
also, even though yes, I think guests who are not annual pass holders are usually the people who will dump more money.
Mhm,
Whereas
mhm,
pass
mhm.
holders will be like, oh, maybe they'll spend a little bit money here and a little bit more money there. But then there's also those annual pass holders that go and collect everything. They will buy one of every single thing that's in the store. They will buy every single collector's piece for annual pass holders. So, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. As a pass holder, depending on what tier you got, you would pay an X amount of money. Either you paid all up front if you have that ability, or you pay the monthly, which is what most people um
That's what we did.
yeah, that's what most people kind of choose to do. Plus, if you want to not have to pay for parking every single time you come in, if you drive a car, then you would put parking on top of that, or you have to, just pay, which is expensive. It was up to like $25 per vehicle if
Yeah.
you have a regular like sedan, or like if you have a bigger
Yeah, if you had
capacity
like an SUV,
car,
it's 30.
then I
I
think
think
it's
if you had like a big
like one of those high
camper,
clearance
it was like
ones.
50.
Yeah, and then like, what is it, like preferred parking? I think there's one of those. So there's different tiers to that they offered for various people, depending on their own financial situation. So we never had the top tier. We never had the premium one, just because like we went, but we didn't go that much because it's still like an hour and a half with traffic drive. Like technically without traffic, it's probably 45 minutes.
Yeah,
With traffic, it's probably
an hour
because
and a
it's
half.
down to five, like an hour and a half.
Well, and that's also another thing is, wait, where did my brain go? Sorry, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, okay, well,
So,
we'll try to get it back.
well, what is it? Oh, something that Adam brought up was the
Hmm.
fact that, yeah, you do have some of the annual pass holders would also go in there and try to buy all of the souvenirs,
Oh, the
the
resellers.
resellers.
I look like if that's the way you make your living, that's the way you make your living. But I am not like I feel like a lot of the times just the way how much they mark it up is kind of ridiculous. Like I've seen what have I seen? I don't
Was some of the
know.
makeup things that would sell for like maybe $30, they were on there for like 200,
Like more
2,
than
300.
double triple the price. It's absolute, but then people pay for it because they want to get it so badly, because those people don't have the ability to come to the parks,
Yeah.
because you have to think, we talked about this before: flight, lodging, ticket, food, merchandise, like, or you pay this much and you just say, screw it, this is the fee, and like I'll pay for it because I really want this one item, I really want this popcorn bucket, I really want this pair of mouse ears, or whatever it may be. Like I don't love the resellers because whenever I see them, they always have their like wagon full of stuff, and you're just like,
Yeah.
there should be because then for the people who really do want it as well, like they don't have the ability to now get it, even though they went. So with that said, I feel like the future of whatever next iteration of the pass holder program that they're going to have, I feel like the prices are definitely going to be increased. I feel like they will offer something similar to the Flex Pass, which they introduced, I think, last year or the year in 2019, where on Monday through Thursday you can just go. Like there's no restriction, there's no block on those like
The weekdays.
the off peak days. But for weekends and specific holidays and like maybe like Christmas time where it's tend to be more crowded, you have to make a reservation. And I think you had like 2 weeks to make the reservation. My friend actually has that pass, and she didn't downgrade, but she switched from her regular annual pass to the flex one. She actually didn't have any problem with reservation. She actually liked it a lot. The pricing was, right for her. So, it just depends on
I just hope they give us
what the new
options.
that's what I would like. I would like to continue to have option. We were actually talking about this yesterday, and I said, what if they went the route of Disney World, where I want to say Disney World only offers two kinds of passes. The top premium is called Signature or something like that, where
Yeah.
you can visit Disney World and Disneyland and there's 0 blockout dates, or I think there's one that's just for the Disney World parks and there's no blockout dates. I think those are the only two that are, but I don't know. So if you are knowledgeable in that aspect, please comment your thoughts on the Disney pass holder like situation in the comment section below. And also, this cancellation is just for Disneyland, it's not for Disney World. Their pass holder program is still up and running because their park is open
Yeah.
and they're okay. So with that said, we will wait and see to see what happens with the whatever program, whatever frequent visitor program that they decide to sunrise next. Sunset.
Sunrise, because yeah, one is
Sunrise,
sunset,
sunset.
or would it be moonrise
Oh
since it's the sun
gosh,
setting?
who knows?
I just hope that it's not going to be a gouge. I hope it's not going to be.
But it probably will be.
But the thing
be
is,
prepared.
though, they're also desperate. Disney, in
They're
their
losing
last
money right now
in their last
in the
quarter,
parks.
and yeah, since Disneyland has been closed, and Disney, the company, reported in its fourth quarter a $4 billion loss.
Oh,
so I think they're
isn't that how much they spent buying Star Wars?
That's how much they spent in Star Wars.
That's a lot of money.
I'm kind of hoping that their desperation to get people back into the park is going to give people like us who are like, oh, well, we know we want to get a season pass. So they're going to be like, for a limited time, the season pass will be this much just to get people back in. And we'll be like, we'll take it. And then we can get grandfathered into that program.
We will see. And I think we get hopefully a little bit of refund because
it should be about a month and a half.
A month and a half because it was March and our passes expired in May. So it would be nice to get a little bit of that money back because we obviously didn't get to go. We had plans too. We tried when we had the passes, we tried to go at least twice a month.
And we also tried to always go like on our anniversaries, on birthdays, on
my birthday, always. What do you want to do, Wendy? I'm going to Disneyland.
Disney.
Doesn't matter what I do at Disneyland. I just want to go. Doesn't matter who I spend it with. I just want to go on. You have to spend it with
just want to be with me.
Yeah. Usually that's the case. I don't actually like to have like a big gathering for my birthday. 2020 was the one year that I wanted to do like an actual joint birthday party with my friend. That didn't get to happen. So maybe 2021 will be the year. We'll see. If it happens, it's going to be an Animal Crossing themed party. I'll say it right now. Like the apartment will be wherever we have it. It's going to be like Animal Crossing decoration all over and everybody's going to be a villager.
We're going to need sooner or later either Disney, Universal, or some theme park
Animal Crossing
to put together
World?
an Animal Crossing world.
That's going to be Universal because they have Nintendo World. So they can just totally add like little, like next to Mario Land, they can all be neighbors and it'll be super cute. And you can have Tom Nook walking around and like ask people for money, for bells, Well, you guys, that's all of our discussion for today. Was lot of topics, but a lot of fun talking with all of you guys.
Yeah.
As always, for all of these topics and kind of get you guys' perspective and insights. So we hope to continue on with this throughout all of 2021. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to everybody who donated via Super Chat and or Streamlabs, which I didn't put the link in there, so I don't think anybody even
so no one did.
But that's
also,
okay.
If you want to continue this conversation, we invite you to come onto our Discord. We have a lot of cool,
let me put it in right now.
A lot of cool different topics. We have, if you want to talk spoilers about any of the shows that we're watching about, that is the place to talk about them. So we invite you to come join us. Join us. And enjoy the movie chat.
Yes. And Jim says, like and subscribe. Yes, like and subscribe. Those thumbs ups, it may seem like it's meaningless. They really, really help so much. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. We have tons of more content coming, including hopefully we'll continue with the WandaVision reactions per episode. So there you have it. Thank you so much. And Jim, now that you're actually here, because I don't know if you watched the last few like Instagram stories or live streams, but thank you so much for the popcorn bucket. We love them.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
we used it for WandaVision.
Yeah, we're gonna use it for WandaVision, which is like really, really cool. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you on Wednesday for another live stream. See you then.